Hey y'all, hey. So I wanted to share something with you guys that happened to me at church recently. Let me start by giving you a little background information, a little context. So my full name, my government name is Quita. And growing up, I hated that name. I hated it because of how people responded to it. So God took me on a journey of learning to embrace my name because he gave it to me. So here's some of the things that I would hear growing up when I told people my name. That's really your name. Some people would snicker, Shaquita. Oh, and one time I even got, really? That's your name? What was your mama thinking when she named you? So clearly God had to take me on a journey to fall in love with the name that he gave me and understand that my name is a part of who I am. And he didn't make any mistake when he created me. So fast forward to yesterday at church. This is not to throw shade. God just was speaking to me through this and I really felt heavily like I needed to share it. So I was serving at church yesterday on greeter duty. What I do is check people in and I greet them with a smile. I'm one of the first faces that they see, so I like to make the interaction pleasant. An older lady came through the doors and I greeted her, asked her could I check her in. She wanted to do it herself. I thanked her because it frees me up to check in the next person. As she checked herself in, I asked her name so I know what to call her when I see her again. And she tells me. Then she follows up by asking me my name. Here we go. I tell her Shaquita, and this was her response. Whoa, that's one of those black names that somebody just threw out there, huh? I was taken aback. I was just like, yeah. Now, my feelings were not hurt, and I was not offended. However, I was disappointed. Disappointed that this is how somebody at church would respond. Disappointed that someone I assumed knew the Lord would respond this way. When I got home, I had to repent because I unintentionally came into agreement with what the enemy was trying to do through that interaction. And God reminded me, no, it's not just a black name that somebody threw out there. It's the name that I gave you, and I don't make mistakes. So what I began to realize is that he took me through the journey of embracing my name. I no longer hate my name. I'm no longer embarrassed to tell people my name. But now he's taking me through this phase of now you have to correct people. Now when people say things that does not align with who I say you are, what I say about your name, now you have to bring correction to it gracefully. I am praying and I'm asking God to keep a response on the edge of my tongue so that I can always come back gracefully and remind people that that is a name that God gave me that I'm not ashamed of. To make fun of my name is just like poking jabs at God because he gave me that name. It's like saying, what were you thinking, God? Why did you give her that name, God? Wow, God. So I want to wrap this up by saying, y'all, sometimes it will be interactions at church that the enemy tries to work through. This is what I want you to take away from this. People gonna be people. People will disappoint you. Don't let that affect you showing up to church again. Don't let that affect you getting to know Jesus a little bit more because people misrepresent Jesus all the time. And if you are a person and you do not like your name, I want to encourage you to begin to embrace that name because it's not just any name. It's the name God gave you. And he don't make mistakes. So be very careful about what you come into agreement with when other people are responding to your name. And be prepared once you embrace that name for God to lead you through the journey of now correcting people when they don't come into agreement with what God says about who you are and the name he gave you. Okay? Now that's not to say that God can't command people to change their names. He's God. He can do anything and he knows what's best for us. But as for me, in my case, he commanded me to embrace my name. And if you fall into that same category, then this message is for you.